So, is it even worth learning art in this AI era? Hey everyone, it's Peter here, and this time I would like to talk a little bit about AI art. Quite recently, my friends and colleagues were quite depressed when they saw what actually AI can do, myself included. I know, it's getting better and better each month. So you might be asking, is it even worth now learning art? Is it worth to be an artist in this upcoming AI era? Why even bother with drawing when you can generate pretty decent art with just a few words, right? Shouldn't we all just turn into prompt writers now? What will art like be in the next 5 years? Will we artists even have a job? There are tons of videos covering this topic, and I think the most accurate answer is that no one is 100% sure what will happen. But I have some arguments why I think that yes, learning art, learning to draw, learning composition, working with colors will still be valuable. Or now you might wonder why I spent so many years learning this shit when AI can do this in a matter of seconds. And yes, you're goddamn right. But there's the catch. Whether or not still learning to draw is the same like if you asked, why are people still drawing ultra-realistic portraits when we can just take a photo? I think such fear was very similar when the photography was introduced. And as you can see, we still admire art, we still admire artists, we still strive to be better. Because does it matter if you can capture the moment in a few milliseconds or seconds? As an artist, obviously you like to enjoy the process, at least I do. For me personally, AI art has no real value, at least not yet. And don't get me wrong, let me explain this. I think AI will be a great tool if I could implement it. Let's say if I use it for generating 3D textures, some seamless ground textures or whatever, or if it gives me an inspiration, then why not? I mean, obviously if we can do the work quicker, more efficiently, then why not? Some might argue, look at 3D animation. I think in many aspects it's much more efficient than 2D animation. You don't have to draw frame by frame, right? And still, look how anime is doing well. There is just something about that human touch, which AI cannot do. Maybe it will be able to replicate this sooner than we think, but as an artist, right now, if I want to use AI as a tool, not as a final product, it can't help me that much. Especially in 3D graphics. And I know this is only a matter of time. Yes, I do think some jobs, maybe including mine, I work as Enviro artist in Blender, some of our jobs might get replaced. We obviously can't, and it wouldn't be wise, I think, to stop the progress. However, this may create new opportunities too. If you think about it, the process of creating animated video with the help of AI, it can be much faster. So if you want to be a creator, I think utilizing AI is a smart way to go. But for me, there is that thin line that separates art, man-made art, and just, generated bullshit. Just please don't steal from artists. There is tons of art on Instagram nowadays, and those are final outputs which are just generated or it's just overpaint. And yes, for me this really has no value. I don't know what do you think about this, but it's the same as with clothing or let's say jewelry. Handmade and handcrafted items have value. Usually people see much more value in this, and those pieces are oftentimes much more expensive. And I think this will be very similar scenario with art. I really think, maybe I'm wrong, but I do think that human-made art and that skill will stay here and will be admired. Because in the next upcoming years, everybody, even small kid, probably will be able to generate what only the best artists could do. Yes, this will be reality, I think, soon enough. It's now happening even. Everyone is able to generate everything, but for me this is a loot box with random few variables. I want to do art because I enjoy the process. If it somehow can speed up those boring parts, I will really use it as a tool, it's no problem. But I don't want to use it as a final product, because it's not mine, it's not coming from me. And even if it was coming from me, should someone admire this? That I just learned to write a few sentences and suddenly a great picture appeared? I don't think so. Of course, some jobs might be replaced. I believe some corporations will eventually replace some of the artists for very random generic art, and me as a creator, I want to do that job and enjoy the process. That's why I'm learning art. Some people who can't draw or don't have these skills now make fun of artists that why did you even learn this, right? Now we can do this with simple prompts, blah blah blah. Sure, but AI art is here just because of artists, just because of people. And for me, art is about people. It's connecting people together, reflects some ideas, concepts, plays with emotions, and yes, AI can learn this too. Of course it can, but it's artificial. I know this is very subjective, but let's say if I compared two identical pictures, this one was painted by an actual human and it took that human, let's say, 2 weeks, and this one was generated by AI prompt, I absolutely wouldn't give a shit about AI picture. I'm not sure if other people and upcoming generations will feel the same about this, but I think there is just something about human-made things which will never lose its value, at least for us humans. Maybe if aliens were watching this video, they would be like, nice try, man. Maybe we really live in simulation. But anyway, what I'd like to say in this video is I'd like to argue that yes, there is still positive outlook for artists even in AI era. I do think so. Just do it for people, do it with people, and I think human-made art will somehow keep its value. And probably the value will even rise, because if there are going to be thousands or 100,000 prompt artists, I just really think it won't be that special. We already live in an era, in the digital era, where you can do absolutely stunning things already, even without AI. But people seem to still admire some traditional techniques, just because it's hard-learned skill, it's hard work, and most of us admire the dedication to learn it. Okay, but what about jobs? What about money? What if we just can't make a living from this anymore? As I said, I think there will always be some projects, at least some projects that will require human work in art. And it's up to us people. It depends what we find valuable. We can perhaps boycott films which are made fully by AI without actual people working on it. We as humans can decide how we utilize this AI. Will it be just a tool? Or will it simply generate everything and we are no longer needed? It's up to us. Let's say some big company, some big studio makes a film which is fully made by AI. If all of people will love it, if people will perceive this generated art as a masterpiece, as something very special, admire it, maybe the next generation will be like that, I don't know. But yes, many people will lose jobs. But I really think it's unlikely. It's up to us creators who we hire, what we implement, and it's up to us also consumers what we consume. I think there just needs to be some balance. Yes, so quick recap. I think no one really knows for 100% what's going to happen, but obviously some things will change. And it's absolutely not just creative industry. AI will most probably reshape everything. But again, it's up to us people how we implement it. And if you want to learn art, if you want to learn drawing or some other skill, don't even hesitate. Just do it, enjoy the process, and try to find some way of making money from it. I know it's easier said than done, but it's definitely possible, and I think it will be possible in future. I hope this video made you at least a little bit less depressed. This is not my usual content, but I'd like to talk about this topic, because as I said, many of peers around me, they were really worried about this AI, and including me. But as I said, I'm enjoying the process, I'm doing it, and I think you should too. See you next time.